Hello. So just a quick little update regarding parasites. So the ironic part is that the first year I did the colema cleansing detox ritual was, like I said in previous videos, was in Koh Samui, Thailand. And the reason I did it is because my friend at the time was sort of convinced she had one. And, you know, I remember her constantly like Googling different like symptoms of what it might be like if you have a parasite or whatever. And she went to Thailand. She went to a different place than I did, but she went to Thailand, and sure enough, there was this massive parasite that's been living in her, and it came out, I think, on the fourth day or something like that. So she was just like, I knew it, you know. And I went to Koh Samui and nothing. And then the second year we went, and again, like nothing. And this year I thought, well, you know, the past 2 years I haven't bumped into anything, so I'll just do it from home, because I remember how good I felt, and my skin felt more radiant and looked more radiant, and I just felt really good. And, you know, when you do something quite this intense, I at least I do, you know, really like to follow the little rules, because it gives me like a regimented day for eating and whatever. I mean, in this case, not eating, but you know, the raw diet coming up beforehand, and then the raw diet that I keep afterwards. You know, I keep it for a while, and I just feel amazing. And so I do this, you know, like I said before, once a year. You can do it twice a year, but you really wouldn't want to do something this intense, you know, more than that. I think once a year is probably sufficient. And especially if you then stay on the juices or the raw vegan food for, you know, longer period of time, then your body's pretty happy with you. So, you know, keep going. So the cleanses though are designed. There's like different colonic cleanses, like the actual mixture that you're using. You know, it varies, and the one that I always like to use is coffee for the morning, and I guess that also helps you cleanse your liver. Now, you're not drinking the coffee, obviously. You're using it for the colema, and you're only drinking really fresh green juices. So, you know, the coffee mixture does tend to stimulate the blood vessels and whatnot, and you know, but I don't know what else it does. But you know, I just kind of enjoy that ritual for the morning. And then in the nighttime, I've been using garlic, and from what I know, garlic really helps to kill parasites. And so, of course, this year, bam, there was definitely a parasite. So remember that I did 2 days of basically a liquid cleanse, liquid fasting, essentially, but, you know, really not a lot of calorie intake, just to kind of get myself off the eating habits I had before. And then I did 8 days of raw vegan, which was all vegetables, and I've shared a lot of the foods on the Instagram page, yeah? So, you know, I've, like, really, by now, I'm 5 days into juicing. There should be just nothing but liquids in me, but, yeah, so in that state, like, you definitely know when you see a parasite. So, yeah, we haven't identified it yet, but it's substantial. So, I have to think of my friend. You know, she just kind of had a feeling that she had a parasite, and she went, and you know, and she felt so much better afterwards. And this time I felt like I just needed to do this, you know, and everyone's going, why are you doing it for so long? And why are you even doing this? And it's so intense. And, you know, how can you work and do this? And I just kind of went, I don't know. I'm just going to figure it out and, you know, do the best I can. Like, definitely I'm very consciously trying to keep my stress levels low. So I am still going to work, but I bring my juices with me. I try to kind of, you know, have a low profile all day, and after work I come home and I, you know, make my veggie broth. I heat up my veggie broth, and I just kind of try to keep things a bit simple and just a bit quieter right now, making sure I meditate every day, and just really self-love, you know. The other thing the other thing that I wanted to say is there are several of these colema mixes, you know, so you can actually buy a mix if you don't, you know, either trust or you just even feel good about making your own coffee colema mixture. So how you make the coffee, colema, 3 or 4 scoops of a really good organic coffee. Bulletproof would be good because it has no fungus, or they have specific enema coffee, and you can use that. So you make 3 or 4 spoonfuls of the coffee in about 4 cups of hot water. Just really let it seep, and obviously using a strainer, then you get your liquid. And that, with just that recipe that I said, it lasts you 2 mornings. So that's for 2 sessions, potentially 3. Now the second one I've been doing is the garlic. So you crush 4 garlic cloves in your blender, and again about 4 cups of water, blend that sucker up, and then strain it, and there's your garlic one. And that also lasts about 2-3 days. Yeah, you get the mixture. You want to only use about a third, maybe a half of what you end up with. Put that in your colema. The other ones you can use apple cider vinegar. You can use I saw one that said vitamin C, so I'm assuming like lemons. You can use spirulina. I saw one for sea salt. I mean, just there's so many different ones that you could do, like I said, or you can just literally buy a mixture from the supermarket. But I decided for this one to always be using distilled water, just to make sure that tap water just has too much chlorine and stuff, and I just don't want that in me. So the other thing I'm starting on tomorrow, in light of this cleanse being so successful at getting rid of nasties, is I'm going to be doing a liver detox. So I've kind of got my little instructions here. So basically it's a day and a half of a liver cleanse. And so tomorrow it looks like I'll be having apple juice only and water till about 2 o'clock. So I make fresh apple juice in my juicer, and then water, and it says about 3 liters, which is around a gallon of water until 2, and then I drink nothing after 2. Like after 2 o'clock you're done. You start the fast, you don't drink anything, you don't eat anything for the rest of the day, and then at 6 I drink 1 teaspoon of Epsom salt with half a glass of water. Now I really made sure that I got pharmaceutical grade Epsom salt. I'll put a little link down. You can buy the edible grade on Amazon. You don't want to be taking your lavender or your whatever Epsom salt that you use for your bath and getting that into you. You really want to make sure that you've got the ultra high grade that's safe for you to consume. And then I will do that again at 8 p.m. tomorrow, and then at 9:45 I get ready for bed, and it says by 10 o'clock you want to have your liver drink. So the liver drink is the one I accidentally took before. The one that I had before that I mentioned, I only took the lemon and the olive oil, and that's how I started my first day of this juicing process, and that was, but to that one I could have added more ingredients. But this one, it looks like I am literally just taking my lemon and my olive oil, and you take about, like, if you can picture a little shot glass, you take about a shot glass worth, yeah? So you get it into you while standing up. It's very specific. And then I go ahead and lie down, and I lie on my right side in a fetal position, and I basically try not to move. And they say that you will feel like little marbles kind of rolling in you if you have any, I think it's gallstones, but they call it a liver cleanse, but it also gets the gallstones. I remember when I did this, not last year, but the year before. Last year I didn't feel that much, but the year before, when I did it, it didn't feel so much like marbles as much as bowling balls. Like, it felt like there was just rocks coming through my liver, and that wasn't pleasant. And the next day I was absolutely ruined. So if you do endeavor this, make sure that you are doing your juicing for 3 or 4 days before you even get on something like this. You wouldn't have it one day after having a big meal and be like, tomorrow I'll do a liver cleanse. No. You want to make sure that you're doing several days of juicing, then you do your liver cleanse, and then the next day you have another little Epsom salt thing at 7 a.m. By 9 a.m. you can have like a coconut water is what they recommend, and I feel like by then that coconut water is God's nectar. Like, I couldn't almost move until I had that coconut water. I believe I even skipped yoga that day. Like, it really kicked my butt. And then I had that coconut water, and I was like fresh as a daisy, off and running, feeling good. So I've planned it for Friday because I'm able to take the morning off, for the tough day. But you definitely want to be prepared that if you happen to have any of these stones, the day after you do this, that morning after is when you're struggling, and you're really struggling. So you can pretty much just write off that morning, and you know that until you get your little coconut water into you, not a whole lot's happening. So anyway, I don't know if anybody's going to be endeavoring this, but so far I'm pretty happy that I did it, because pretty happy to be getting rid of my parasite. But all right, that's all I've got to report. Feeling okay. I definitely am starting to feel the low calorie, but pretty much I feel really good most days. Like, I think today's the first day that I was like, I could chew something. You know, I'm feeling a bit hungry, but feeling good. You know, overall, feeling really good. And surprisingly, I have a lot of energy. I think I'm just tired because I was up at like 4:30 yesterday and up at 5 this morning, and so I'm just tired from that. But yeah, surprisingly upbeat for very little calories and lots of green juice. So that's it. All right. Thanks. Bye.